I swear, the day started normal, boring normal. I'd just come back from grabbing groceries, thinking I'd make myself a late lunch, maybe kick my feet up for a minute. But the second I reached my apartment door, something already felt off. You ever get that weird gut feeling like somebody's been messing with your stuff? Yeah, that. Because the moment I pushed my door open, my whole hallway looked like airport baggage claim. Suitcases. Big ones, little ones, overstuffed ones, lined up like a family of traveling penguins. And not my suitcases. My heart did this little confused flip. "What the?" I whispered, stepping over a bright purple one that literally had Disney stickers on it. Then I heard voices. Loud, excited, comfortable voices. The type of voices people use when they're at their house. Not yours. I walked into the living room and froze. My daughter-in-law's entire family, her mom, her dad, 2 sisters, and that annoying little brother who always steals anything not nailed down, were just living in my apartment. Shoes off, snacks open, bags everywhere, TV blasting like it was Super Bowl Sunday. Her dad looked up from the couch and nodded at me like I was a hotel staff member clocking in for my shift. "Oh good, you're finally back," he said. "We weren't sure where the extra blankets were." Extra blankets. My closet door was wide open behind her, my sweaters pushed to one side so her dresses could take center stage like VIP guests. 2 of her sisters were in there arguing over who got the top shelf. I wasn't breathing. I was processing, trying real hard not to lose my mind. I cleared my throat. "Clara, why are your things in my closet?" She gave that soft, polite, customer service smile she uses when she wants something. "Oh, I figured we'd settle in early. It's only 10 days until the wedding. This just makes everything easier." Settle in? Settling where? In my room? I blinked at her, waiting for the punchline. Then her mom appeared behind her, holding my jewelry box like it was some community donation item. "We'll put our valuables in here. Your room has better lighting." My room. My jewelry box. Nah. I took a slow breath through my nose so I didn't scream. "So y'all are staying here?" I asked, trying to stay calm. Clara nodded, like it was the most obvious thing in the world. "Well, yeah, you know how wedding prep is. Plus, hotels are expensive and we're all family now, right?" Her mother chimed in with a little shrug. "We assumed you'd understand." Assumed. Assumed. My left eye twitched. I glanced around at my once peaceful home, now a full-blown Airbnb they apparently didn't pay for. Drinks on my coffee table, coats on my dining chairs, someone's shoes on my fireplace mantel. Who the hell puts shoes there? Then Clara stepped aside, motioning to the bedroom like a realtor showing off property. "You can come in if you want," she said sweetly. "Come into my own damn bedroom?" I took another breath, because the alternative was catching a case. The entire group kept talking over each other, moving around like they owned the place, sorting toiletries in my bathroom, dumping snacks in my cabinets, spreading out like they'd signed a 1-year lease. My voice finally came out, soft, calm, the kind of calm that should scare absolutely everyone. "Okay, who told y'all this apartment was yours?" And just like that, the whole room went silent. Her sisters froze mid-conversation. Her dad paused the TV. Clara's smile faltered just a tiny bit, like a crack in a cheap glass. She blinked. "What do you mean?" I stepped fully into the room now, shoulders straight. I said slowly, who exactly told you that you could move into my apartment? Her mother raised her chin, real confident for someone who had just rearranged another woman's closet. Well, sweetie, we thought you wouldn't mind. After the wedding, everything blends anyway. Family becomes one. What's yours becomes. I cut her off with a raised hand. Don't finish that sentence. The air shifted. You could have heard a pin drop on the hardwood. Clara opened her mouth, maybe to sweet talk, maybe to lie, maybe to gaslight. No idea. But I wasn't giving her room to breathe this time. I pointed at the closet. At what point did anybody think this was okay? Silence. No one moved. I looked each one of them dead in the eyes, calm as iced tea. Well, I said finally, if y'all are gonna stay here, we're gonna have a very different kind of conversation. The room was still frozen. Like all of them suddenly remembered this wasn't their Airbnb fantasy. It was my home. I walked into the living room, put my grocery bags down on the counter, and turned to face the entire group like a teacher about to hand out detention slips. Clara tried to approach me first, smiling that nervous smile she only uses when she knows she's messed up. Sweetheart, we didn't want to bother you, she said softly. We just thought staying here would be easier. Easier for who? I said. Her mom stiffened. Well, for all of us. I raised an eyebrow. Interesting, because from where I'm standing, it looks like it only makes things easier for you. Her dad cleared his throat from the couch. We only need a place to stay for 10 days. After that, we'll be out of your hair. 10 days. I repeated it the way you repeat something insane, just to confirm your ears didn't betray you. The younger sister, the one with the Disney suitcase, piped up. It's not that long. I turned slowly. It's 10 days of 7 extra people in a 2-bedroom apartment. She shrugged like she was discussing the weather. We're low maintenance. Low maintenance? Girl, your family brought 4 full-size shampoo bottles and a blender. I stared at them, completely baffled at how confidently wrong they all were. Clara stepped forward again, hands clasped in fake innocence. Look, we're family now. I thought you'd welcome them. After all, I am marrying your son. And that, I said gently, is the part y'all seem to be very confused about. Everyone blinked at me, like I'd just spoken another language. I crossed my arms and leaned on the counter. My son is marrying you. You! Not your parents, not your siblings, not your cousin twice removed. You are the one joining this family, not the whole village. Her mom scoffed. That's rude. No, I replied calmly. What's rude is moving into someone's house without asking. Clara's face dropped. We didn't think we needed to ask. If she had slapped me, I swear it would have stung less. You didn't? Her dad finally spoke again, leaning back comfortably like he owned the couch. We figured since the newlyweds will be settling here, it makes sense we get used to the place too. You'll be moving out after the ceremony, right? I swear my soul left my body for a full 3 seconds. I'll be what? I said, too calm. Moving out, he repeated slowly, like I was the confused one. This is the kids' apartment. You're giving it to them. I blinked twice. Who told y'all that? Clara lifted her hand like a student answering a question. I did. She said it proudly. Not embarrassed. Not shy. Proud. I told them after the wedding, you'd hand over the apartment so we could start our family here. Oh, did you now? I said. Yes, she said confidently, because you said you wanted us to have stability. I said I wanted you two to build a stable life, I corrected. Not that I'd be moving into the streets so y'all could play house. Her mom chimed in again, rolling her eyes dramatically. Don't be selfish. Young couples need support. You know what else young couples need? I said. To not make assumptions about other people's property. Her dad stood up then, arms crossed. Well, clearly this conversation is going nowhere. We'll just stay here until the wedding and discuss the rest later. Discuss the rest later? In what world? I took one slow step forward, then another. My voice dropped to that calm danger tone, the one women unlock only when they're done tolerating nonsense. Let me spell it out for everybody, I said. 7 sets of eyes locked on me. You are not living here for 10 days. Their faces fell. You are not staying here for 1 night. Clara gasped like I had stabbed her. What do you mean? I pointed at the scattered luggage. All of this needs to go back outside. Her mom stepped forward, furious. Absolutely not. We came all this way and we're not. It's either outside, I said, cutting her off, or I call building security and they help you move it. Her jaw dropped. You're kicking us out? Clara whispered, tears filling her eyes. Not real ones. The dramatic kind. No, I corrected. I'm telling you this was never your place to begin with. Her dad tried one more time, his voice rising. You can't just... Yes, I said. I can. And I am. Silence. Then Clara's brother muttered. But we already unpacked. That sounds like a you problem, I said. For a moment, nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Nobody blinked. Then I clapped my hands once, loud. All right, chop chop, let's go. Bags to the door. Family meeting's over. And while they all stood there in shock, I walked to the front door, opened it wide, and simply said, You have 5 minutes before I get security involved. That did it. They scrambled, suitcases zipped shut, snacks shoved into bags, coats flying everywhere, Clara wiping fake tears with the back of her hand. Her mom glared at me the whole time like she wanted an exorcism performed on me. But I didn't move, didn't flinch, didn't apologize, because I meant every damn word. By the time they finally dragged their mountain of luggage out into the hallway, Clara turned back to me, eyes red and furious. You're unbelievable, she hissed. I leaned on the doorframe. No, sweetheart, I said softly. What's unbelievable is how you thought you owned something that isn't yours. Then I closed the door right in their faces and locked it. After I shut the door, I just stood there for a second, palms flat against the wood, breathing slow. Not from panic. Oh no, from pure disbelief. The kind where your brain keeps repeating, ain't no way that just happened. I walked back into the living room and saw the aftermath of their 10-minute invasion. A half-unpacked suitcase spilling shirts on my couch. A random high heel under my coffee table. A jar of imported jam open on my kitchen counter. Like they seriously thought they were settling in for a long-term stay. I shook my head and chuckled. Lord, these people bowled like they're competing for gold medals. While I cleaned, my phone buzzed. Ethan, my son. Perfect timing. I already knew he was about to defend Clara, like she was the lost princess of some royal kingdom. I answered, Hey, Mom. Hey, baby, what's up? So, he dragged it out. Clara called me crying. Oh, I bet she did, I said, fluffing my throw pillows. She said you kicked her family out. They weren't in to begin with, I replied. He sighed loudly, the universal sound of a son bracing himself. Mom, why didn't you talk to me first? Evan, I said, why didn't your fiancé talk to you before inviting half the population into my apartment? Silence. He wasn't expecting me to flip that Uno reverse card. They're here early, he finally said, just to help prepare for the wedding. Oh, they were helping? Is that why they had their clothes in my closet? My what? Yep, I said. Hangers and everything. Even her daddy put his shoes on my rack. Real cozy. He groaned. Mom, please tell me you didn't yell at them. I didn't yell, I said proudly. I was calm, collected, and extremely polite, like a classy villain. He ignored that. Look, Clara said you embarrassed them. Clara walked her entire family into my home without permission. She embarrassed herself. He went quiet again. I could feel him debating whether to argue or hang up. Evan, I said firmly, you know I love you. But I'm not letting anybody disrespect me, including your future in-laws. I get that, he said. But they traveled so far. And hotels exist, I cut in. Motels exist. The cousin they're close to exists. Airbnbs exist. My apartment is not the only building on Earth. He exhaled, like he'd been holding his breath for 2 minutes. Fine, he said. I'll talk to Clara. You do that, I replied. Because if she's planning on sliding her entire family into my life every holiday, we need to start discussing boundaries now. After we hung up, I finally sat down with a cup of coffee, thinking the drama was done for the day. Oh, silly me. Round 2 began 20 minutes later. The doorbell rang. Not once, not twice, 7 times, in rapid-fire, angry doorbell button mashing. I walked to the door slowly, like in a horror movie. I opened it. There they all were. Clara in front, her mother glaring like I stole her life savings, her father puffed up like a balloon. The siblings looking uncomfortable, but trying to look tough. Clara crossed her arms dramatically. We need to talk. Do you now? Yes, she said, because you humiliated us. Again, I said calmly. No one can humiliate someone who walked into a house they don't pay for and started unpacking like they're on home makeover. Her mom stepped forward. You have no manners. And y'all have no common sense, I shot back. Clara shoved her hair behind her ear aggressively. My parents came early to help us organize the wedding details. So why didn't they go to your parents' house? I asked. Her cheeks turned pink. Well, they don't have the space. And I do? I asked. Yes, she said. So this is a storage unit now? A community center? A group discussion hall? Clara's dad lifted his chin. We are family. Through marriage, I corrected. And that hasn't happened yet. Her mom smirked. Oh, it will. And when it does, this home becomes theirs. There it was again. That delusional Disney storyline they were all drunk on. I put one hand on the doorframe and leaned in. Let me explain something y'all clearly failed to understand. They leaned back slightly. This apartment ain't yours. This apartment ain't Evan's. This apartment ain't the wedding gift bag. This apartment is mine. M-I-N-E. I pay the bills. I sign the lease. I mop the floors. I fix the sink. Clara rolled her eyes. So, you can still gift it to us. Baby girl, I said, I'm not gifting y'all a doormat, let alone a whole apartment. One of the siblings whispered, she's kinda scary. I smiled at that. Good. Clara inhaled deeply, voice cracking with anger. If you don't let us stay, she said, Then maybe the wedding needs to be reconsidered. Wow. The manipulation Olympics continued. I raised my brows. You're telling me you'd call off a whole marriage because your fiancé's mom won't give you free housing? Her mom chimed in. She deserves support. She's about to marry your son. Right, I said. She's marrying my son, not signing a contract to colonize my home. That shut her up for a second. Clara's voice softened, fake sweet. Why can't you just be cooperative? I nodded slowly. Oh, I can cooperate. Absolutely. Their eyes lit up for one hopeful second. Then I dropped the sentence that ended the meeting faster than their dignity could recover. You have 5 seconds to step away from my door before I close it. Her dad scoffed. We're not going anywhere. I smiled. 1. They blinked. 2. Clara's eyes widened. 3. Her mom grabbed her purse. 4. They started backing up. 5. And with a sweet smile, I closed the door. Click. Locked. Standing there, I whispered to myself, this wedding ain't even started yet, and they already stressing me out. I swear, the moment that door clicked shut, my whole apartment exhaled like it had been holding its breath. Peace. Quiet. No suitcases multiplying like gremlins. No mother-in-law-to-be trying to claim my kitchen like she bought it on sale. But peace never lasts when you're dealing with people who think boundaries is a myth created by bored psychologists. Not even 20 minutes later, my phone buzzed again. This time, a group chat created by Clara named Wedding Family Coordination. Ugh, gag. I opened it. Dozens of unread messages from people I didn't even know existed. Cousins, aunties, random uncles, neighbors. Someone named Taya Abba, who definitely wasn't supposed to be here. They were all discussing, get this, sleeping arrangements in my apartment. I scrolled up. Clara had typed, don't worry guys, we will sort out rooms once Evan convinces his mom. Convince who? I typed back one sentence. Ain't nobody convincing me of nothing. Within 2 seconds, my phone exploded. Clara, Mom, please stop being difficult. Her mother, you don't respect traditions. Her father, older women should know their place. Oh, really? I smirked so hard, my eyebrow raised by itself. I left the group, blocked the group, created a new group chat with just Evan. We need boundaries, ASAP. I texted, handle your fiancé before I handle her myself. He responded instantly, what happened now? Now? Boy, your girl's family is trying to make my home a hostel. That's what happened. I called him because texting wasn't gonna cut it. The moment he picked up, I said, Evan, sweetheart, you better come pick up your future wife and her entire family before they start assigning lockers and bathroom schedules. Oh, he groaned like an old man. Mom, I'm trying, but Clara is emotional right now. Emotional or manipulative? I asked. Silence. You really think she doesn't know what she's doing? I continued. Dragging her whole family to my place 10 days early? Inviting them to move in? Trying to claim the place like it's part of her wedding dowry? He sighed. The wedding stress? No, I cut him off. Wedding stress is crying over flowers or losing your shoes. Wedding stress is not attempting a hostile takeover of your future mother-in-law's home. Another sigh. Okay, he said. I'll talk to her again. Talk, I repeated. And make sure she understands. I am not the kind of woman you walk over. I am the kind of woman who walks you right back out the door. He laughed nervously. Yeah, I noticed. After the call, I finally thought maybe things would die down. Again, silly me. Because at 7 p.m., there was a knock. Not the angry kind. Not the desperate kind. A knock too soft, too rehearsed. I opened the door slowly, and there she was, Clara, by herself. Her head down, her hands folded. Her voice dripping with sugary fake innocence. "Can I talk to you privately?" I stepped aside, but I didn't offer a smile. She walked in like she was performing in a soap opera. She sat on the couch, straightened her dress, and inhaled dramatically. "First, I want to apologize." "Oh, wow. So we're acting now?" I sat opposite her. "Go on," I said. "I didn't mean to upset you," she said, twirling her hair. "I just wanted my family close. This wedding means so much to me." I nodded. "Okay, I'll play along. And that required moving into my closet?" Her cheeks tightened. "I admit I acted impulsively," she said. "But you didn't have to embarrass us." "You embarrassed yourself," I said calmly. "You walked into someone's home and treated it like it was up for auction." She sighed dramatically again. "I thought we could be close, like real family." "And we will be," I said. "But real family respects each other's space." She hesitated, then looked up with big, emotional damage eyes. "I want us to start over," she said. "Please?" Cute. But I wasn't born yesterday. Before I answered, her phone lit up. And guess whose message preview popped up? Her mother. "Did you convince her? We still plan to come back tonight." "Oh?" "Oh!" I smiled at Clara like I just caught a teenager sneaking out past curfew. She panicked and flicked the phone upside down. "Everything okay?" I asked sweetly. She stuttered. Oh, that's nothing. Just my mom asking about dinner." "Dinner?" I repeated. "Or checking if you successfully tricked me." She froze. Her breathing got shaky. I leaned forward. "Clara, if you want honesty, let's be honest." Question. She swallowed hard. "You didn't come here to apologize," I said. "You came to negotiate a way to sneak your family in again." She looked down, busted. I just want them comfortable." "In your place," I corrected. "Not mine." Her voice got tiny. "My parents can't afford a hotel." "So how were they planning to survive after the wedding?" I asked. She had no answer. "Exactly." I stood up. "Clara, baby, I'm gonna say this once and you better let it marinate." She looked up slowly. "You are welcome in my life. Your family is welcome at the wedding. But my home, my personal space, that is not a free-for-all." Her eyes watered, not from sadness, from frustration. "If you all try to force yourselves in again," I added, "you won't just lose access to my apartment." I paused. "You'll lose access to me." Her lips parted. She understood. I walked to the door and opened it. "That's all for tonight." She got up slowly and walked out, head lowered. But right before she stepped into the hallway, she whispered, "This isn't over." I smiled. "Oh, sweetie, I know." She walked off. I closed the door, and I said to myself, if they want war, I can give them a whole season. The next morning started way too calm, like suspiciously calm. I woke up, made coffee, stood by the window, and for once, nobody was dragging suitcases across my hallway like it was an airport terminal. But whenever life goes quiet around messy people, just know they're plotting. Around noon, I texted Evan. "Did you talk to her?" He replied, "Yeah, she said she apologized to you." She said everything is fine now. Fine. Fine. I literally laughed out loud. Bro, your fiancé apologized with one hand and tried to sneak her whole tribe back in with the other. But sure. Fine. I didn't argue. Because sometimes the best teacher is reality popping someone upside the head. And reality was about to do exactly that. I was sitting on the couch, watching the news, minding my business when suddenly, a loud thud. Another thud. Then wheels rolling. My heart dropped. No. No way. I turned off the TV and walked toward the door slowly, like a detective in a crime show. When I looked through the peephole, I nearly burst out laughing. There they were, Clara's entire family. Again. But this time, they came prepared. Her mother was carrying grocery bags. Her father had tools, like he was planning to fix something. The siblings were dragging 2 giant suitcases and a foldable mattress. A mattress? Sir, where did you think that was gonna go? The hallway? And there was Clara, whisper fighting with everyone, trying to keep them quiet. Hurry! She's probably at work, she hissed. I opened the door before she finished that sentence. The whole family froze mid-sneak. I leaned against the door frame with my coffee mug, straight-faced. Well, look who's back. Clara tried to recover fast. Mom, we came to drop off groceries. Her mother nodded too aggressively, like a bobblehead. Yes, groceries. For you. I pointed at the foldable mattress. And that's for... What? Sleeping on the groceries? Her father jumped in. Oh, that's for my back. I need to stretch. I cut him off with a raised hand. Stop. All of you. Just stop. You're embarrassing yourselves. The siblings lowered the suitcases, staring at the floor like they'd been caught stealing candy. Then Clara stepped forward, trying to smile like none of this was insane. Please, just let them stay for a few days. Just until the wedding. It would mean everything to me. Oh, sweetie, I said softly. You should have said that yesterday when you were pretending to apologize. Her jaw clenched. So the apology meant nothing to you? It meant nothing because it wasn't real. Her mother scoffed. So stubborn. No wonder your son is stressed. I looked directly at her. Oh, honey, you haven't seen stubborn yet. Clara sighed and put her hands together. Can we just come in and talk? No, I said instantly. Why not? She asked, voice cracking. Because the last time I let y'all come in and talk, I ended up with strangers stuffing their crows into my closet. Her father mumbled. It was only a few shirts. I deadpanned. You put 5 shoes on my shelf. Her mother snapped back. So? You have space? I looked at her slowly, very slowly. You know who else has space? The hotel down the street. Clara shook her head. We can't afford that. That's not my problem, I said, calm and steady. What is my problem is people trying to invade my home, like a budget vacation package. Then Clara tried the final card, the emotional guilt trip. If you really cared about me, you'd help my family. I stepped closer. Clara, I care about Evan, and because I care about him, I'm gonna say this bluntly. Her eyes widened. If you keep pulling these stunts, you're gonna lose him. She froze. Her whole family froze. I continued. He is already stressed, and you're out here acting like your wedding is a military operation. This, I pointed at the suitcases, mattress, tool bag, all of it, is not normal behavior. Her voice suddenly went small. I just wanted everyone together. In your own place, I corrected. Not mine. Not ever mine. Silence dropped over all of them. Clara swallowed hard, then whispered, "So, you're really not letting us in?" I shook my head. "Nope. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not until y'all learn that family doesn't mean free real estate." Her mother opened her mouth to argue, but Clara held up a hand. "Just stop," she said to her parents. She looked exhausted. "Let's go." They picked up their things slowly, like actors in a tragic movie scene. Suitcases rolling away, mattress flopping awkwardly, the whole family shuffling down the hallway like they'd lost a battle. Clara walked last. Right before turning the corner, she looked back at me. "This isn't personal," she said quietly. "Clara," I replied, "you made it personal the moment you tried to take my space." She nodded, defeated, and left. I closed my door gently. Then I exhaled the deepest sigh of relief. But that sigh didn't last long, because not even an hour later, Evan called. And he did not sound calm. "Mom, what happened? Clara is crying. Her parents are furious. They're saying you humiliated them." I rolled my eyes. Here we go. I sat down, took a deep breath, and said, "Sit tight, baby boy. I'm about to tell you everything." "Okay, Mom, just tell me what happened." Evan sounded stressed. Not angry, just overwhelmed. Like a dude who suddenly realized he might have proposed to the wrong kind of chaos. I put him on speaker, sat back on the couch, and rubbed my temples. "All right, sweetheart, let me walk you through this entire circus." He sighed. "Mom, Clara said you slammed the door in their faces." I snorted. "Baby, I didn't slam anything. I closed the door gently. After they tried sneaking a foldable mattress into my apartment." "A what?" "A whole mattress, Evan. Like they were checking into a motel." I could practically hear his soul leave his body. "Wait, why would they bring a mattress?" "You tell me," I replied. "Maybe they planned to turn my living room into a family campout." He muttered something under his breath. Then louder, "She told me they went to drop off groceries." "Groceries?" I repeated slowly. "They brought tools, 2 suitcases, and the mattress. If that's groceries, then I'm an astronaut." There was silence on the phone. The kind of silence where someone is putting pieces together and realizing the puzzle makes an ugly picture. Finally, he said, "Mom, are you sure you're not exaggerating?" I opened my door and found Clara's dad holding a toolbox big enough to build a second kitchen. "What exactly do you think they came to drop off?" He didn't answer, so I continued. "Look, I get that you're trying to defend her. You love her. You want peace, but you can't force peace when someone else is starting a war over closet space." He sighed again. A deeper one this time. "But Mom, Clara was crying. She said you embarrassed her whole family." I closed my eyes and counted to 5. "I didn't embarrass anybody. I told grown adults they can't invade my home. If they feel embarrassed, that's between them and their entitlement." He stayed quiet for a moment. Then, "So they really tried to move in again?" "Baby!" I leaned forward even though he couldn't see me. They were rolling suitcases like they had reservations. A long, exasperated groan came through the phone. "Why would she do that? Why wouldn't she talk to me first?" "Oh, she talked," I said, "just not to you. She talked to them. She planned this with her family. They assumed they'd get their way because you're too soft and I'm too polite. He clicked his tongue. I'm not soft. Sweetheart, you're softer than warm bread. He didn't fight that one. I continued. Listen, Clara knows you're non-confrontational. She knows you want everyone happy. So, she used that to push boundaries. He took a sharp breath. I didn't realize it was this bad. Well, now you know, I shrugged. He hesitated before asking the next question. Mom, do you think she's doing all this on purpose? I didn't sugarcoat it. I think she wants control. I think her family is used to taking over spaces, and I think she assumed you and I would just fold. Wow. Yeah, wow. After a minute, he said softly, Mom, I'm sorry you had to deal with that. I smirked. Oh, don't worry about me. I handled it like a champ. You always do. I sure do. We shared a small laugh, but the relief didn't last. Because then he said, I need to talk to Clara. Good, you should. But can you please stay calm? Don't talk to her until I do. I wasn't planning to talk to her at all, I replied honestly. This is between you two now. He hummed. Then his voice went low. She said something else. Something weird. Oh boy, what now? She said you threatened to kick her out forever if she didn't apologize. Did you? I shook my head. Nope. I told her she wasn't moving into my home unless she respected me. That's not a threat. That's a boundary, he murmured. She twisted it. She did. And my mom's name got dragged into it. Yep. And now her parents think you hate them. Oh, baby, they can think whatever they want. Doesn't change a thing. He let out a frustrated breath. I hate this. I know, but this is what happens when people don't know their lane. Then he said something I didn't expect. Mom, I'm starting to see a side of Clara I've never seen before. I hummed. Welcome to Chapter 2 of adulthood. He almost laughed. Almost. Then he whispered, What if this keeps happening after we get married? What if she tries to control everything? I didn't answer immediately, because that was his question to solve, not mine. This is your moment to show her what you stand for. He exhaled shakily. You're right. I know. I'm gonna go talk to her now. Good. And Evan? Yeah? Be firm. Not rude. Not emotional. Just firm. Okay. And tell her the truth. All of it. I will. I stared at the phone for a long moment. Then I whispered to myself, All right then. Let's see what she does when the excuses run out. Little did I know, Clara was about to make things 10 times worse. Evan called her. I don't know how their conversation went behind the scenes, but I do know one thing. Clara did not take accountability. Nope. She decided to go full-level dramatic. Because about 2 hours after Evan hung up with me, I heard knocking. Not normal knocking. Aggressive knocking. Like police at the door knocking. I opened it, and there she was. Clara. Red-eyed. Sniffling. Holding tissues like she'd just auditioned for a soap opera. Hi, Mrs. Harris. I didn't say anything. I just raised an eyebrow. She stepped inside without waiting for an invitation. Already a red flag. I just talked to Evan, she said. He's really upset. He thinks I lied. I stayed quiet. I would never lie to him, she added dramatically. But now he thinks his own fiancé is some kind of manipulative monster. I folded my arms. Well, Clara, You didn't exactly tell him the truth. Her chin quivered. I was trying to protect you. Lord help me. I almost choked on the irony. Protect me from what? I asked. From conflict, she sniffled. If I had told him everything, he would have blamed you, and I didn't want that. I blinked slowly. So instead, you blamed me. Anyway, by twisting the story? She froze. Her mouth opened then closed, like a confused goldfish. That's not twisting, it's just presenting things in a softer way. Ah, so apparently lying has a rebranding now. Clara! I sighed. You told Evan I slammed a door in your family's faces. You told him I insulted your mother. You told him I didn't want your family here at all. She avoided eye contact. And none of that happened, I continued. She looked down, wiping her tears but not actual crying. So why'd you say it? I asked. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Because I didn't want Evan to think my family was intruding. I stared at her. Clara, they were intruding. She gasped as if I slapped her. That's so mean. Girl, that's not mean. That's reality. She sniffled loudly. Then she put a hand on her chest, very dramatic. My family just wanted to feel included. Included in what? I asked. My closet? Her eyes widened. That closet belongs to Evan and me too. We're getting married. Not yet, I said calmly. Until that wedding happens, this is still my home. And even after the wedding, you and Evan decide where you live, not your whole tribe. She bit her lip, shaking her head. You're being so harsh. I'm being honest. No, she whispered. You just don't like my family. I leaned back. Clara, your family walked into my apartment, opened my closet, and started reorganizing it like they owned the place. That's just their way, she cried. Well, their way doesn't work here. Silence. She stopped pretending to cry. Her face changed. Her body stiffened. The sweetness melted off like makeup in the rain. Now she spoke with her real tone. You know, Evan listens to me, not you. So what now? She snapped. You want me to call my whole family and tell them they're not welcome? No, I said calmly. I want you to stop lying. That's it. Her face twisted. You're making this worse. Nope, I said. Your choices made this worse. I'm just refusing to take the blame. She glared at me like a teenager who got grounded. Then she said the pettiest thing she could think of. Fine. If you want boundaries, you're gonna get them. From now on, I won't talk to you unless absolutely necessary. I almost laughed. That's not a punishment, sweetheart. That's a vacation. She gasped like I slapped oxygen out of her lungs. Then she stormed toward the door, swinging her purse like it was a weapon. But right as she reached the hallway, she turned around and hissed, I'll make sure Evan sees who you really are. I gave her a soft smile. I hope he does. She stomped away so hard the floorboards trembled. I closed the door and leaned on it, exhaling. But I wasn't shaken, not scared, not guilty, because the mask finally came off. And now, Evan would see the real situation clearly. But what Clara did the next morning? Oh, that was the breaking point. It wasn't petty. It wasn't dramatic. It was straight up disrespectful, and it changed everything. The next morning, I woke up early, not because I wanted to, but because I heard banging. Loud banging, like someone dropping heavy boxes on the floor. I got out of bed, opened my bedroom door, and froze. Because there they were, Clara's entire family, back in my apartment. Her mom, her dad, her sister, her brother. All four of them, standing in my hallway like they were moving in permanently. And Clara was in front of them, arms crossed, chin lifted, smirk ready. "Good morning," she said sweetly. "We're back." I blinked. "Why?" Her voice got loud and confident, like she'd been rehearsing. "Well, Evan and I talked, and since the wedding is only 9 days away, we all agreed it makes sense for my family to stay here full time." I stared at her. Funny, Evan didn't tell me that. Clara shrugged. "Oh, he's busy. And honestly, he doesn't need to tell you. This is a family decision." Then she said the line. The line. The one that changed everything. "Mrs. Harris, eventually, this apartment will be Evan's and mine anyway. You may as well get used to us now." My stomach dropped. She didn't say maybe. She didn't say someday. She said it like it was already decided. Like I was some old lady just warming the house for them. I stepped forward slowly. "Clara, I want you and your entire family out." Silence. Her mom gasped dramatically. Her brother snorted. Her sister rolled her eyes. "Clara?" She laughed. A full, loud, disrespectful laugh. "Mrs. Harris, you can't tell us to leave. Evan already said we can stay." "No," I said, keeping my voice steady. "Evan said you could visit, not invade." Her face twisted. "You're just scared that once we're married, you won't be able to control him anymore." I stepped closer. "I'm not scared of losing control. I'm scared for my son if this is the family he's marrying into." She stiffened. "How dare you?" "No, how dare you," I said. "You lied to Evan. You lied to me. And now you're standing in my home, acting like you own it." Her jaw tightened. "This isn't just your home," she hissed. "It's the family's home." I pointed to the door. "Out. Now." Her mother chimed in. "You're overreacting." "No, I'm enforcing boundaries." Kyle, the brother, scoffed. "You're being dramatic." "No, you're being disrespectful," Madison, the sister, said. "We came all the way across town for nothing?" I stared at her, like she asked the dumbest question on earth. "Yes, nothing." Then Clara snapped. "You can't do this. Evan is my fiancé. And this is my lease," I replied calmly. "Signed by me, paid by me, owned by me." Clara's face went red. "You're going to regret this." I tilted my head. "You sure about that?" And then, right in front of all of them, I called Evan. He picked up on the second ring. "Hey, Mom, is everything okay?" I put him on speaker. "Evan," I said, "your fiancée and her entire family just showed up at my door again, claiming they're living here for the next 9 days." He went quiet. Clara's eyes widened. I continued. "And Clara claims you said this apartment will eventually belong to both of you." "What?" Evan blurted. "Clara, what is she talking about?" Everyone stared at Clara. She stuttered. I didn't say it like that. I just meant—" "No," I said calmly. "You said exactly that." Evan's voice hardened. "Clara, did you tell your family they could stay without asking me?" Her face went white. I thought— "Did you tell them this was your future home?" "Evan, I was just—" "Yes or no, Clara?" The room froze. Finally, whispering, "Yes." Evan exhaled so long and so angry, the whole hallway felt it. "Get out of my mom's apartment. Right now." Clara gasped. "What? Evan? You crossed every line. Pack your stuff and leave. I'll talk to you tonight. No, we're getting married in 9 days. And if you don't start respecting my mom, we won't be getting married at all. Her jaw dropped. Her mom covered her mouth. Her sister whispered, "Damn." Kyle picked up a bag slowly. I stepped aside. "You all need to go," I repeated. This time, they listened. Clara walked out last, tears streaming, mascara smudged, face trembling, but her voice still bitter. "You ruined everything," she whispered. "No," I said softly. "You ruined it by lying." She stared at me like she wanted to scream, and she left. I locked the door behind them, and for the first time in days, my apartment felt like mine again. I collapsed on the couch, shaking, not from fear, but from relief. I wasn't the villain. I wasn't the problem. I was just a mother who stood up for her home and for her sanity. Evan arrived an hour later, hugged me, apologized, and said, "Mom, I think I'm marrying the wrong woman." I didn't say anything, but deep down, I already knew. I woke up the next morning with that same tight feeling in my chest, the kind of stress that sits on your shoulders like a whole backpack of bricks. I could already hear voices in the kitchen. Loud ones, too comfortable ones. My living room had basically turned into their private lounge. And honestly, I was so over it. I stepped out of my room and found Daniela's mom, again rearranging my stuff. Not helping, not cleaning, straight up rearranging my house like she owned the lease. She noticed me and flashed that sugar-coated smile she always used when he was about to say something disrespectful in a nice tone. "Oh, good morning," she said. "I just moved your old plates to the lower cabinet. It makes more sense this way." I raised a brow. "More sense for who? You?" She blinked. "Well, for everyone." "Nope, not today. I was done pretending this circus was fine." Before I could respond, Daniela waltzed in, wearing my slippers. My slippers, the ones she never asked to borrow. "Oh, good, you're awake," she said with that fake little giggle. "Mom was thinking maybe we should move the couch to the other wall. It'll give us more space for the wedding prep stuff." I stared at her like she'd grown a second head. "For wedding prep? Or for you guys to live here rent-free while stomping all over my boundaries?" She froze. Her smile fell. Her mom stepped closer, like she was ready to jump in. Then I said, "No one's moving anything else in my damn house." Daniela's mom puffed up like a balloon. "Your house? Sweetie, technically this will be Daniela and your son's house after the wedding." There it was. The line. The line I'd been waiting for someone to cross. "Who told you that?" I asked, voice calm but sharp enough to slice glass. Her eyes shifted, just for a second, but I caught it. Daniela jumped in. "Well, Daniel said you'd eventually give the place to us, so Mom just assumed." I cut her off. Assumed wrong. The room went silent enough to hear air molecules moving. Daniel came out from his room, rubbing his eyes like he was the one stressed out. "What's going on?" I looked him dead in the eye. "Your fiancé's family seems convinced this apartment belongs to them now." Daniel's jaw flexed. "Mom, we talked about this. One day, I repeated. Not today, and definitely not before the damn wedding." Daniel's mother-in-law-to-be scoffed. "This is ridiculous. We're not outsiders. We're family now. I stepped forward. No, right now, you're guests. But you haven't acted like guests even once. Daniela gasped. My family isn't being rude. We're just trying to help. Help? I said. Putting your clothes in my closet is helping? Reorganizing my home without asking is helping? Inviting yourselves here 10 days early is helping? Daniel went quiet, like he finally heard me for the first time in days. Daniela folded her arms, her voice suddenly sharp. Well, what do you want us to do? Leave, I said softly. All of you. All their faces dropped at the same time. Like synchronized drama. You can't be serious, Daniela whispered. Oh, I'm serious enough to write it down and sign it. Daniel's future mother-in-law stepped forward. You're going to kick us out this close to the wedding? You didn't give me a heads up before moving in, I shot back. So no, you don't get a heads up before moving out. Daniel ran a hand through his hair. Mom, they don't have another place to go. I shrugged. They can find one. This is a city, not a desert. Daniel's face turned red. Not angry red, but embarrassed red. And that actually made him pause for once. He looked at Daniela. Did you really put your stuff in her closet? She didn't answer. Her silence said everything. Then he turned to her mom. Did you really try to redecorate her house? Again, silence. Now he was mad. He looked at me. You're right. They crossed the line, and I let it happen. Daniela's mouth fell open. Babe, are you seriously taking her side? He glared at her. It's not about sides. It's about respect. And you haven't shown my mom even 1% of it since you got here. Her mother scoffed again. Daniel, don't let her turn you against her own future wife. But he held up a hand. No, we're leaving. Pack your things. You could have heard a pin drop. Daniela's voice cracked. Where are we supposed to stay? Daniel sighed. At a hotel, with the rest of your guests. Her mother lost it. This is unbelievable. She's manipulating you. I stepped forward, calm, steady, unbothered. Sweetheart, if I was manipulating him, trust me. Y'all would have been out of this house on day one. Daniel cracked a tiny smile, despite himself. Daniela stomped toward the hallway, grabbing her suitcase. Her mom muttered under her breath. Her siblings scrambled to shove their things into bags. It was pure chaos, like watching clowns pile out of a tiny car in reverse. But me? I finally felt air in my lungs again. As they packed, Daniel came to me quietly. Mom, I'm sorry. I should have shut this down earlier. I softened. I'm just glad you finally saw what was happening. He nodded, and for the first time in days, I felt like my son was actually on my side. When the door finally closed behind them, the silence in my apartment felt like a blessing. But deep down, I knew something else was coming. There was no way Daniela's mom was done with her drama. Not yet. And I was right. The text she sent 2 hours later proved it. 2 hours after they left, my phone buzzed with that loud notification sound I normally ignore. But something in my gut told me to check it. And oh boy, I'm glad I did. It was a message from Daniela's mom. And it wasn't just long. It was novel length. At first, it looked polite. Fake polite. The type of polite where every sentence low-key drips with attitude. We didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable. We were only trying to help organize your small apartment. Since Daniel will eventually inherit the place, we assumed being comfortable was normal. Then she ended it with the grand finale. You owe us an apology for your behavior today. We are family now. I sat there staring at my phone like, oh, she really thinks I'm scared of her. I didn't respond. Not yet. Because I knew that replying in anger would give her exactly what she wanted. Drama. And if there's one thing I don't feed, it's delusional people. 4 hours later, the doorbell rang. Not once, not twice, but 5 rapid-fire times, like someone was trying to summon a demon. I opened the door and, wow, there she was, Daniela's mom, standing like she was about to deliver a TED Talk on entitlement. Behind her, Daniela, looking embarrassed. Daniel, looking tired. Her siblings, looking like backup dancers who didn't know the routine. I crossed my arms. Well, this must be important, 'cause y'all pulled up like the police. Daniel shot me a tiny smile, then whispered, "Just hear them out, Mom." Daniela's mom stepped forward. "Look," she said, "I came here to clear the air." I nodded. "Go ahead." She inhaled sharply. We didn't mean to overstep. But 10 days before a wedding, families stay together. That's normal. And since the apartment will be in Daniela and Daniel's name someday, we just assumed. I held up a hand. Assumed wrong again. Her face twitched. Then she said something that almost made me laugh. "We thought you would move into a smaller place once they're married. That's what mothers do." I raised my eyebrows so high they almost left my forehead. "So let me get this straight," I said. "You expected me to move out of my apartment so y'all could move in and redecorate it like some HGTV audition?" Daniela's siblings snickered. Her mom shot them a death stare. "I didn't say it like that," she replied. "But that's exactly what you meant." Daniel finally jumped in. "Mom, future mom, look, I love you both, but we can't force my mom out of her home." Daniela's mom crossed her arms. "I wasn't forcing her. I was simply advising." I stepped closer, calm as rain. "You weren't advising. You were claiming territory that doesn't belong to you." Daniela finally spoke, her voice shaky, but honest. "Mom, please stop. You made everything awkward. Daniel and I, we just wanted a peaceful start." Her mother spun on her like a tornado. "You're taking her side?" Daniela didn't answer, just looked at the floor. Daniel stepped between them. "Enough! We're here to fix things, not start round 2. I took a breath and said what needed to be said. "Listen, I don't hate y'all, but respect goes both ways. This is my home, not a guest house, not a future remodel project, not a wedding headquarters." They all went quiet. Then I finished. "Until Daniel and Daniela have their own place, this apartment stays mine. And if you want to be part of this family, you gotta start by respecting that." For the first time all week, her mother actually shut up. She exhaled slowly. "Well, maybe I got carried away." I smiled. That's the understatement of the year. Daniela elbowed her lightly. "Mom, just say sorry." She hesitated. Her pride was screaming. Her ego was fighting for its life. But after a long, painful pause, she finally muttered, "I apologize." Not perfect, but progress. Daniela turned to me. "And I'm sorry too. We should have asked before inviting everyone early." Daniel followed. "And I promise we'll get our own place ASAP. No more stress for you." I nodded. "Thank you. That's all I wanted." Silence settled. And for the first time since they'd shown up, the silence felt peaceful. As they left, Daniela's mom paused at the door. Can we still come by for dinner before the wedding? She asked, quieter than usual. I thought for a moment. Only if y'all leave your suitcases at home. Her face twitched. Then she actually laughed. A real one, not the fake tight-lipped kind. We'll behave, she said. For everyone's sake, I replied. Later that night, Daniel texted me. Mom, thanks for standing your ground. I needed to see it. I love you. And just like that, all the stress, all the chaos, all the drama felt worth it. Because at the end of the day, I wasn't just protecting my apartment. I was protecting my peace and teaching them exactly where the line was. And this time, nobody crossed it.